I used to own the biggest organic herb company in the country, and the question I was asked the most by my customers was always, will this grow? The advice was always the same, yes, if you water it and if you deadhead it. Everyone would look back at me with horror when I said the word deadhead, but really it's for the best for the plants. So what I'm going to do is show you how to keep your plants blooming, how to keep your flowers flowing, and keep them healthy and producing blooms for the longest time in the season. So come with me. I don't get excited about herbs anymore, I'm all about the flowers, but the advice is the same, the rule is the same. Plants want to put all their energy into making flowers. It's how they reproduce. So to keep your herbs going, producing the leaves, the stuff that you want to eat, you need to nip out the flowers very early. However, with your ornamentals, you want the blooms. So leave the blooms for as long as you like. However, when they start to turn, when they start to look like they're just a little bit faded, or they're about to shrivel, or they're a little bit grey on the edges, that's the point with your ornamentals. You need to deadhead, and that means to nip out the flowers. With your herbs, nip out the flowers as soon as you see them come, because the plant will keep producing leaves, and that's what you want for your crop. So with the ornamentals, I'm going to show you how to and where from remove the flowers. See ya. Okay, so on something like this lemon-scented geranium here, it will keep producing a mass of flower clusters. So if you see here, one of the flowers is starting to die, another one here from where it reaches the main stem, and I just nip it off with my fingers. I like to feel it, I like to get stuck in there, but you can use scissors or snippers. If it's a soft stalk, if it's a soft stem, it's easy enough with your fingernails. But if it's a more woody, tough branch, to protect yourself and also to protect the plant, so you don't want to rip the branches, use some scissors or some secateurs if it's very tough. Well, hi there. Do you want some lunch before I whip your flowers away? Before I whip your plate away? Nice to see you. Okay, so that's one. There's another one here. Snip. This one's looking a little bit tired. I'll just take that one off from this cluster. I'll probably leave those. And this one here, it's looking tired, so put it up. Do you know what? I'm going to take that as well. There we go. This is the coreopsis I picked up last week on my birthday plant haul, and it is the only flower out, and I can understand the temptation to leave it. However, it's looking a little bit tired. I've got a feeling something might have munched those petals on the edge. There we are. And as you can see, there are tons and tons of other buds, new buds coming. So to encourage those to bloom faster, I would take my scissors and I would down there just go, see ya, sorry. Got to be cruel to be kind. Another one of my new brood, the potentilla, has quite a lot of small dead heads to remove, so I left this actually for the video. But if you can see, they still look quite pretty. They look like little winter flowers, but they have to go. And very, very carefully nip that out. That's a soft stalk, and I've taken some of the leaves, but you can see there are buds ready to come. So really take that off. Make sure you don't take a bud that's new. There we are. And just go over the whole plant, very carefully removing the dead heads. come off quite easily. With this one. There's a sticky one in there. Okay, there's lots of new buds. We should get some new blooms quite soon. Something that needs a lot of quite constant deadheading are petunias, and they're classic bedding plants. Come in a multitude of colours and shapes and flowers and styles, but they do have quite a short flower lifespan. So if, as in the case of this one, it's a little bit out of reach, I'm stretching over some other plants. Get your scissors, and if you take that right down to where it reaches the main stalk, off, scoop it up, get in my bucket. It will really encourage lots of new growth, and this one has quite a lot of deadheads, so let me get in there. I've got to switch you off, sorry. Bye-bye. Make sure there's no one dining in here. Get rid of that. That one. Check your flowers for visitors before using them. Also, if I see a stalk which the flower hi. Also, if I see a stalk where the flower has dropped off itself, I'll snip that off too, just so the plant isn't putting any of its resources into the stalk. On it, I can see the snails have had that, or the caterpillars, they've eaten it from the inside out before it even flowered, and I can see they've even left some poop, snail poop. Rats. Okay, gotta go. There's a tiny little bud in there. Be brave. So right down there. Gone. In the bucket. Here's my bay tree. I'll also just do a little maintenance on some of the leaves that are being got at, or might have had some damage from the elements, but I think these are probably insect damage. That should help it out. Yep, lovely. I'm in between. Oh, you're gone. Brutal. So, are there any exceptions to the rule? Yes, always. Don't ask me anything about hydrangeas. I've already had a go, and I think I'll probably pay the price for that later on next year. I don't know what I've done wrong with my hydrangea Schneeball. Schneeball. Snowball, I assume that means. But it's gone brown. And I've also just deadheaded 2 of the flowers, which is probably a cardinal mistake because there's a whole science around when and where you should deadhead hydrangeas. But you see, that's where it goes wrong for me because I'm more of a witchcraft type of method in gardening as opposed to proper science, which is probably why they're not very big. But I've done it now. Oh well. I should have deadheaded these phlox a while ago, but I was hanging on to the death just because they're so lovely and the bees love them. But I'm just going to nip that off there. And I'm going to take this one. I'll leave the foliage because it's nice. I should probably take those 2, but I'm going to leave them just because there's enough on for a bit of a bee feast, and the colour's still quite beautiful, so I'm going to leave them. The astilbe has sort of bloomed, if you call it blooming, for astilbe. It was pink, it was fluffy, it was lovely. But you leave these as they are. Don't deadhead them, don't cut them down, and just leave them. They don't like it. And another very important exception is don't nip out the flowers or deadhead the flowers when they look like they're dying on your fruit plants, your fruit bushes, your fruit trees, and vegetables, because that's where the fruit actually comes from. So these blueberries, they had the beautiful waxy white flowers, and then they turn sort of yellow and brown and they drop off. But from the flower, the fruit grows. So whatever you do, don't deadhead your fruit bushes. That will be a disaster. Unless you want to starve. Finally, how often and when should you do it? The answer is anytime you like, really. You can do it as you walk past, as you see one to snip it out, or you can do it every morning. It's a nice relaxing start to the day, or you can pop out in the evening when everything's glowing and relaxed, and just go meticulously around your garden or yard or balcony or patio and nip out all the deadheads. And there aren't any rules to when or when. There aren't any rules to when or where, so just do it when you want. I like to do it as I breeze past in a sirocco, in a kimono, over a caftan. No, I don't. Do it in my dungarees when it stops raining and I run out in the dry, deadhead, and run back in when it rains. So, thanks very much everyone, I hope that helps. So thank you very much for listening everyone. If you enjoyed it and if you like to listen to me rambling away about gardening, please subscribe or give me a thumbs up or leave a comment if you have any questions. And yeah, thank you very much. If you'd like some more information, please go to my website, bamboobetty.com. I'm on Instagram, Bamboo Betty Shop, and also Pinterest, Bamboo Betty. Thank you very much. Hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.